Oh, that's terrible lighting. Oh well. Happy spooky season. Let's see. We're past the middle of October. I have just over a week before our first Halloween event, and I haven't made the young miss a Halloween costume yet. I mean, I have a backup, but I was unpacking my Jedi robes and I realized her hair, perfect for Luke Skywalker. So I want to make her... You're so loud! So I want to make her that tunic. The rest of it I'm just going to fake, I think. She has a pair of gray sweatpants. That will work for the bottoms. Footwear with the toddler. She's gonna wear whatever shoes fit her. I will figure out something for the belt. Maybe do one of the cargo pockets. The only pattern I actually have for this is an adult one, and it's buried in the office somewhere. So I'm going to have to draft a pattern. I'm going to have to measure a somewhat grumpy and very squirmy toddler. And the only space that I have to craft in is the floor in the hallway. Good times. All right, I think I need to tie my hair back and try to measure a kid. Okay, Mommy needs to take some measurements. Try not to play too much with the tripod. I said try not to. Okay, you have itty bitty shoulders. Yeah, it's a tape measure. Look, you can play with this end. It's got a curly Q. Went not too bad. Hello. We are in the baby play zone. We're trying to be quiet because she's asleep. My material. It is a rough weave, probably cotton. I don't know if this has a tag. Okay, I'm gonna check. Okay, it has a tag. It is very worn, but it does say 100%. And then it starts with a C. I'm going to assume cotton. That's perfect. See a little bit closer. It has that nice, rough, ye olde look to it. That's exactly what we want. So I am going to take my memory of what these pattern pieces kind of look like, or should look like-ish, with her measurements, and just wing it. I am pretty sure the front and back pieces are symmetrical, like they're a copy of each other. They're not different. So they can go on the fold, so that we cut two. The back piece is on the fold. Sleeves we need two of, so that can be on a fold. The neck binding, that one I have to figure out how long the pieces are and then cut it. So I might actually put this together before I even cut those strips to do the binding around the edges of the tunic. Like when I made mine, I am going to try to use the actual hem of this material. It was a curtain, found at a thrift store. I might as well use the hems I have. Save some time. Time to straighten out this material and try to draw pattern pieces. goodness, it's so tiny. I should have measured from the bottom of the tunic up to her armpit. Dang it. I can do this though. Future Carrie, you had better remember to cut this big, because there's no seam allowance here. Remember. Alright, I'm going to see if I can find an eraser. I don't know if this is going to work. That kind of worked. There's less pencil over there now. But I mean, it's Star Wars. Things are allowed to look dirty and messy, and it'll be fine. Okay, I have my front pieces, I have my back. I said I was going to do the trim, the neck binding, once it's all together and I know how long it is. Sleeves. We'll put them here. I changed my mind. Instead of putting the arm here, if I run it this way, I have the advantage of having a hem. Making this a curved edge or anything, it's just a straight rectangle. Future Carrie may have regret. I forgot seam allowance. I did it. I told myself, remember seam allowance, and I didn't. The sleeves, I built in seam allowance. They should be okay. Sleeves. Back piece. Front pieces. I now need to tidy up in here before the young miss wakes up. Then I can pin this out of her zone. And we're back. I don't exactly have a sewing room. My sewing machine's just next to the windows in the living room, right next to the baby fence. That way she can't get into pins. Which is the next thing I need to do, pin. I should probably see how these kind of look on her. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'll be back. Yep, it's big. Okay. I need to chop off a chunk off the sleeves. That was the big one that I was like way off on. I thought I was. Way off. That's how much I've chopped off the sleeve. One good thing about already having hems in place, I know which is the right side and which is the wrong side, as opposed to having to mark it somehow. Usually I just use a pin to kind of tack in place. This is my right side, this is the wrong side. That is actually coming together fairly well. My side seams are lined up. Pinning shoulder seams next. Something like this where it's just a front and a back. It's nice to put it all together and then be able to, well, pin it all together and then really be able to kind of see what it looks like especially since I'm making it up as I go along. Now, if this was for myself, I would try it on with the pins. I am not putting this on a toddler with pins in it. I don't trust her with pins. Well, one, I don't trust her not to grab the pins. Two, she doesn't know not to squirm. I mean, she squirms all the time. That's just what she does, so not advisable. All right, that was a nice little sewing break. Little Miss wanted to practice getting in and out of her chair, and then we read 5 Little Pumpkins and the Itsy Bitsy Pumpkin. Okay, I mean, it looks like a vest. A very, very, very big vest. This is gonna be so big on her. Okay, my original plan was to stitch it together, not reinforce the ends like you normally do, like at the beginning and the end of a seam. You kind of go back and forth a few times to really anchor in your sewing. I'm not gonna do that, but I'll leave the long dangly ends. That way, when I see how ridiculously big this is on her, it's easier to take it apart and readjust it. I do want it to be big. I'm Canadian. I firmly believe that Halloween costumes should be able to fit over top of a snowsuit. Well, we're not in Canada at the moment, but I still want it big enough that she can wear a layer or two underneath it. She agrees. So I'm gonna stitch this together and try it on her. Oh, do you like the sewing machine? Yeah, it's pretty nifty. I think this is the first time she's seen me sewing. I mean, I know I did something in our old house in Peterborough that I sneezed and woke her up, and that was mayhem, and that was actually caught on video. But this might be her actual first time seeing the sewing machine do its thing. I keep wanting to hit the reverse button. I'm like, no, don't do it. You'll have regret. Future you will hate you. Because there's no way this is going to fit her. Time to try this on. Are you ready to see how ridiculously big this is? I'll take that as a yes. It was not too big. It is actually a pretty good size for her to have something underneath it and be nice and loose and baggy, like how it's supposed to be. It's, I think, a little short in the body. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just the way it turned out. Okay? Hopefully next time you don't squirm as much when Mummy's taking measurements. Sleeves are what I need to do next, okay? Back. She has settled down. I put on some kids' Halloween music for her. Hopefully that doesn't get picked up too much by the mic. Yeah! You gonna do some dancing? It's time to redo this sleeve and make it bigger. Well, nothing to do but put it together and hope it works. Okay. Have confidence in your measurements. I don't. Now for the fun part. Trying to sew these tiny little sleeves. Thank you for your words of encouragement, miss. Well, what do you know? It looks like a sleeve. Okay. Do we need a play break? Or can I sew the next one? Yeah, that sounds like we're taking a play break. I'm back.
That was a cute coincidence.
Helpful husband is interacting with the little one, so I can finally sew this last sleeve in. Hopefully, maybe, if it fits her. I don't know, that one just seems smaller than the other one. It's probably not. Time to get her out of her dress into a onesie and see if this fits over top of clothing. Hi again. Well, it's been a few days and I'm not sure exactly what I was doing when I last spoke to you, but it's starting to look like a thing. It is adorable. It fits her quite well. Perhaps a little short in the body, but not much, like when you kind of look at what Luke has in the movie. My next thing, I need to add hem, trim, finishing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to cut a strip, but yay, I think, because it'll be folded in half and then folded under again and then just stitched on. But yeah, that's what I'm doing next. And oh, we did buy a belt. We did buy her a belt. It's huge, so we're gonna have to poke another hole in that for her. I need to measure how long I need this binding to be and then cut it out. Okay, 29 inches. Ah!
Was she too close? I'm sorry. I'm coming.
No, that was my own fault. 4.5 inches wide should do it. I'm adding a little extra length here so I can fold over the edge and have it be nice and neat and finished. Okay. I need to find some place to use the ironing board that is not in the baby zone. Okay. And I'm back. The tunic is finished. It looks good. Now onto the belt. We purchased a used belt at the kids' secondhand store. I figured out where I want to put the new notch because this is very big for her. So I have to punch a new hole in this. And out of all of the things that I'm like, I can't find because we moved, I managed to find my all. So we have this at least. Now to find the mark I put on this belt. There we go. I tried it on her, and I don't know if you can see that, but I put a small X just with my thumbnail in the leather on the back side. And now, without trying to stab myself, I'm going to punch a hole in it. There we have it. That's how big around she is. And then I'll simply put like a hair elastic around here to hold the excess in. Now I need to make pockets or something to hang from this. Like, we're not going to do the full binoculars and utility pouches that Luke wears. I mean, he wears a lot on his belt. But we want to have something for that area, just so it's not just a white tunic and a belt that she's wearing. We do not have an appropriately sized lightsaber for her to play with. Oh my gosh, she would love that. Oh. See, now I'm tempted to see if we can find her a lightsaber. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, we might have to take a quick peek, see if we can find a lightsaber for her. So I figure it needs to be basically 4 fingers wide. So with seam allowance from there to there. Then I figured I wanted it about 4 fingers deep. I am going to be folding it to make a little pouch. There we go. That is roughly going to be the height. But then I also need a little semi-circular arch to make the flap. And I'm just going to freehand this. I am going to be cutting out 2 layers of this so I can stitch it together, turn it inside out, so all the seams will be hidden. And how this is going to work, it will come up like so, and then have a little fold down, and I'll use a snap or something to hold that in place. Not a very big pocket. I mean, she's a toddler. It does not need to be very big. Oh, I do need to, oh, thank you. I've just been given the jack-o'-lantern bag. Lovely. You let me know if you want it back. We do need to have belt loop on the back. Sewing without a pattern. Good times. I now have brown thread in my sewing machine, and I'm ready to run this through. You need this for tomorrow. Tomorrow. If I was doing this for competition, something that's going to be worn for years and years and years, I would definitely press this. At the moment, I'm just thinking of sticking it underneath the heavy book. Okay, so it worked. Now I have to try to do the same thing to the other side. I have a belt loop. Okay, that turned out better than I thought it would. I mean, it's a rinky-dink little Halloween costume. It's fine. It does not need to be perfect. A lot of material through the sewing machine. Because we have the 2 layers, which are 2 layers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 layers, and then plus this little corners all mashed up as well. We shall see what my sewing machine thinks of that. Either it'll be like, yeah, it's fine, or, oh dear God, Carrie, what are you doing to me? Jan, you are amazing, you are wonderful, you can do this. Okay, that looks pretty good. I need to put a little snap on that so that it will stay closed. And then I think that's it. Like, I might look to see if I can find a small lightsaber for her, but that's it. I guess the next thing will be tomorrow when she wears it for the first time, show you what it looks like. After she got the hang of it, she really enjoyed trunk-or-treating. There were a couple of issues with the costume. The tunic was a little too short. And that, I think, was a combination. Me not measuring properly, not wanting it to be too long for her, and her growing. I know it wasn't just my measuring, because today I put her in a pair of jeans that she wore a couple of weeks ago. They're now like capris on her. So between her growing and me just not giving it enough length, it was a little too short. It was below her waist, but the belt kept slipping below the tunic, and so the tunic would just come unbelted. I had to a few times stuff the shirt back under. It looked really good though. With the pouch and the little lightsaber, she looked amazing. Cutest little Luke Skywalker ever. Don't tell Mark Hamill. I did end up pinking all of the raw edges, which is something I should probably do with my robes. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. You will like and subscribe. Leave a comment as to who is your favorite Star Wars character. Until next time, have fun, be creative, and take care. And may the Force be with you.